Hello everyone. In this video lesson I am going to present the difficult vocabularies from Generations Grade 12, Major English. Let's begin. Aegean, relating to the arm of the Mediterranean Sea east of Greece. A flame, burning. Albatross, a long-winged bird found in the Pacific and Southern Ocean. Allegory, a story, play, picture, etc. in which each character or event is a symbol representing an idea or quality, such as truth, evil, death, etc. The use of such symbols. Allusion, something that is said or written that refers to or mentions another person or subject in an indirect way. Angelic, like that of angels. Anvil, a steel-faced iron block on which to hammer something. Anvil, a steel-faced iron block, as a shoemaker's, on which to hammer something. Apparition, phantom. Art thou, are you? Aspire, to have a strong desire to gain something. Assent, approval. Atavistic, that which originates from the remote past and continues as a part of the human nature. Ballad. A ballad is a poem that tells a story, usually, but not always, in four-line stanzas called quatrains. The ballad form is enormously diverse, and poems in this form may have any one of hundreds of different rhyme schemes and meters. It was basically used in dance songs in ancient France. Bidding, an order or request. Brag, to boast, to talk with pride. Brooch, an ornament held by a pin and worn near the neck. Bruegel, Peter Bruegel the Elder, also known as Peasant Bruegel, is a satirical and humorous painter of peasant life. Cadence, rhythm. Certitude, feeling of certainty. Chide, scold. Clad, wear cloth. Clashed, fight. Cleave, stick, adhere firmly. Coach and four, a carriage drawn by 4 horses. Cobble, small rounded stone used in paving. Connotation, an idea suggested by a word in addition to its main meaning. Constancy, firmness. Contentment, satisfaction. Countenance, face. Cypress, an evergreen tree with small overlapping leaves. Dale, valley. Dappled, spotted with shades of colors. Dappled, spotted with shades of colors different from the background. Darkling, dark or growing darker. Deeps, oceans. Demur, delay in accepting. Demur, hesitate, take exception, delay in accepting. Denotation, the act of naming something with a word, the actual object or idea to which the word refers. Descend, get down. Discerning, recognizing as something separate or distinct. Discerning, recognizing as something separate or distinct. Doe, female deer. Doth, does. Down, undulating high land without trees. Dread, inspiring or causing great fear. Drear, dreary, gloomy, dismal. Dusky, somewhat dark. Ebb, the reflux of the tide toward the sea, metaphorically, a state of decline. Ebb, the reflux of the tide toward the sea, metaphorically, a state of decline. Ebb, the reflux of the tide toward the sea, metaphorically, a state of decline. Ecstasy, very strong feeling of joy and happiness. Emitting, giving off. Endurance, tolerance. Entrails, bowels, inner parts. Air, before. Extinguishers, put out. Fife, a small shrill flute with 6 to 8 finger holes. Flickering out, twinkling. Fling, to throw something violently. Flow, the rise of the tide. Fly rod, light spring fishing rod. Foresight, forward look. Furled, rolled. Furnace, large tank to heat something. Gay, bright and attractive. Girdle, belt. Girdle, something that encircles and confines, like a belt. Here, bright clothing. Gleamed, appeared briefly and faintly. Gosh, word used in exclamation. Halo, disc or circle of light. Haply, by chance. Hath, has. Hazel, a tree of the birch family bearing nuts. Heir, legal person to claim the property. I trow, I believe, I know. Icarus. In Greek mythology, Icarus was the son of Daedalus. Image, a word or phrase in a literary text that appeals directly to the reader's taste, touch, hearing, sight, or smell. An image is thus any vivid or picturesque phrase that evokes a particular sensation in the reader's mind. Immortal, that will not die. Italian sonnet, it is also known as Petrarchan sonnet. The Italian sonnet, which was created first, is the combination of an octave, 8 lines broken into 2 quatrains, and a sestet, 6 lines broken into 2 tercets. The octave proposes a problem or question, and the sestet generally proposes the solution, or leads toward a conclusion. The rhyme scheme was generally ABBA for the octave and either CDC, CDC or CD for the sestet. Least chance to live more happily due to some fortune. Lest, in case. Light, eyesight, divine illumination. Long betrothed, promise long ago to get married, engaged. Lyric is a collection of verses and choruses, making up a complete song, or a short and non-narrative poem. A lyric uses a single speaker, who expresses personal emotions or thoughts. Lyrical poems, which are often popular for their musical quality and rhythm, are pleasing to the ear, and are easily put to music. Martyrdom, death of the martyr. Melancholy, sadness. Metaphor. A metaphor is a figure of speech that makes an implicit, implied, or hidden comparison between two things that are unrelated, but which share some common characteristics. Miltonic sonnet. The Miltonic sonnet is one of the main sonnet forms. It was popularized by the poet John Milton, who was born in 1609 in London, England. He followed the pattern of ABBA, CDE, but the pattern did not have a defined separation between the first 8 lines, or octet, and the following 6, or sestet. Milton chose to structure his poems with the same rhyme scheme as the Petrarchan sonnet. Miraculous birth, wonderful birth. Mist of race, mystery of race. Moon blanched the maid pale and white by the light of the moon. Morn, morning. Morrow, tomorrow. Murmur, foolish complaint. Musée des Beaux-Arts, Museum of Fine Arts. Nay, no. Neath, beneath. Neon, colorless, odorless, be inert gas used in electric lamps, a sign made of such lamps. Nonsense rhyme. A nonsense rhyme is a composition that intentionally and often for the sake of humor departs from the common logic of language and thought. Odor, smell. Old masters, ancestors. Owes it, own. Parable. Parable is a brief and often simple story that illustrates a moral or spiritual lesson. Paradox. Paradox is a self-contradictory statement that may state a truth. Penny postage stamp. 1 penny stamp used in the British penny post system regardless of distance to which the letter had to be carried. Persona. In literature, the persona is the narrator, or the storyteller, of a literary work created by the author. Petrarchan sonnet. The Italian or Petrarchan sonnet, named after Petrarch, a 14th century writer and the best-known poet to use this form, was developed by the Italian poet Giuliano of Arezzo in the 13th century. Usually written in iambic pentameter, it consists first of an octave, or 8 lines, which asks a question or states a problem or proposition, and follows the rhyme scheme ABBA. Phantom, apparition, something one sees but has no real existence. Poetic license. Poetic license is the license or liberty taken by a poet, prose writer, or other artist in deviating from rule, conventional form, logic, or fact, in order to produce a desired effect. Post-travel. Prevails, to be widespread. Prodigal, lavish, giving in large quantities. Prophets, a person who teaches religious principle. Prose poem. A prose poem is a poem written in prose but containing the elements of poetry. Refrain. Refrain is a verse, a line, a set, or a group of lines that appears at the end of stanza, or appears where a poem divides into different sections. reverently, respectfully. Rhetorical question. It is one that is asked merely for the effect. No answer is expected since it is embedded in the question itself. Riddle. Any statement which is not easy to solve. Russet. Coarse, homespun reddish-brown cloth. Rustle. To make a quick succession of sounds, to move quickly or energetically. Sane. Having a normal mind. Scansion. Scansion is a description of rhythms of poetry through breakup of its lines or verses into feet, pointing the locations of accented and unaccented syllables, working out on meter, as well as counting the syllables. Serene, calm. Shakespearean sonnet. The English or Shakespearean sonnet was named after William Shakespeare, who most believed to the best writer to use the form. Such sonnet follows the rhyme scheme A B A B, C D C D, E F E F, G G. Sheer, complete. Shingles, coarse, rounded gravel on the seashore, beaches covered with pebbles. Simile. Simile is a type of figurative language that does not mean exactly what it says. That makes a comparison between two otherwise unlike objects or ideas by connecting them with the words like or as. Sinews, nerves. Song. A song is a lyrical poem that is sung to the accompaniment of some musical instrument. Sonnet. Sonnet is a distinctive poetic style that uses system or pattern of metrical structure and verse composition, usually consisting of 14 lines, arranged in a set rhyme scheme or pattern. There are two main styles of sonnet, the Italian sonnet and the English sonnet. Sophocles, a Greek dramatist. Splash, an act of splashing. Star, Blake's symbol for cold rationality and imposed regularity. Starkest, absolute, sheerest. Startle, surprise or puzzle suddenly. Straits, a comparatively narrow passageway connecting two large bodies of water. Strand, beach. Subway, an underground railway, an underground passage for pedestrians, pipes, cables, etc. Symmetry, beauty of form arising from balanced proportions. Talent, an ancient monetary unit, a special capacity of a person. Temperate, mild, moderate. Tenement, a large building with rooms rented cheaply. The, you. Thine, your. Thou art, you are. Tranquil, calm, serene, unruffled. Transient, passing away quickly. Tremulous, shaking. Troop, a cavalry unit commanded by a captain. Turbid, muddy. Turbid, clouded. Twilight, the time of the day when night is about to begin. V8 engine, an 8-cylinder smooth and powerful car engine. Vegetable pill, a pill supposedly made of vegetable. Verse, a verse is a metrical line. Sometimes it also means a stanza of a poem or poetry in general. Virgin liberty, complete and natural freedom. Volta, it is a dramatic change in emotions or thoughts that the poet is expressing in the poem. Wand, rest, wander. Wand, small branch of tree. Waylay, to wait for somebody in order to attack them. Wiles, playful tricks, strategies intended to ensnare. Wilt, will. Withdrawing, retreating. You. Yearnings, strong and emotional desire. Yoke, burden. Thank you for joining with me in this video lesson, and subscribe my channel to get my upcoming video lesson continuously. Keep suggesting us. See you soon.